I'll try to focus, on some technical aspects. By meaning technical aspects, what I come to say is like most of us are not from computer science department in this meeting. So I'll just share with you what the company expects on a technical side. So I'll start with this. Many people, even in our year, that is the final year, people think that CS students have upper hand in placements. There is nothing like that. All are equal to the companies because they know that not, the CS students are not that good. So that is the truth. So you don't need to fear about that you're not a CS student. So that doesn't make any difference. So we'll start now. So this is the overall process. The first thing is PPT. Aditya has also said about it, and the next one will be online test and interviews. Nothing much to speak here. So one thing that I would like to add about the PPT is that the CYC would insist all of us to attend the PPT. They would say that attendance is compulsory. Don't attend for that sake. It will be really useful for you also. The reason is you can expect some 2 to 3 questions directly from PPT during your face-to-face interview. So once you complete your online test and you're getting prepared for face-to-face interviews, make sure that you recall what and all they have told about the company or the work that they do during the PPT. So I got some 2 questions from the PPT itself. Also, some of my friends from CS department, also in the other department, they had the same experience. That is, they were able to pass the interview with the help of the informations that they got during the PPT. So focus on PPT also. Don't just attend it for the sake of compulsion of CIC. It will be really useful. Just try to take some 2 to 3 important points that you think is important. So that's how it works. Now moving on to online test. So Aditya has given a very good explanation of aptitude, what they expect in aptitude. Now let me focus on tech MCQs, debugging and coding questions. So I'll just give you an overview of what they'll ask in these sections and some sources to study for you also. Also, we read through the Google forms you filled. There were many questions related to this. I'll try to answer most of it. So I'll just cover my my content, and I have noted the questions also. I will answer it at the end of the session. So even if you have any other doubts than that, you can ask at the end of the session. So now let's move on. Tech MCQs. So there is an assumption that the tech MCQs will be very hard. Some core concepts like Aditya has mentioned in slides that the core concepts are OS, DBMS. Yeah, they are the core concepts, but you need not worry that you have not studied till date. Okay, so that is not something hard for you because there are a lot of YouTube videos and channels. They have simplified the content as beautiful as they can. So by following any one channel, you can easily cover. You can easily ease through the tech MCQ questions. That's not at all a big deal. Now let us see the topics in which they frequently ask the tech MCQs. The first thing is OOPS, object-oriented programming concept. I don't know how many of you have it in your curriculum. So in your subjects, I think you would have studied this in your second or third semester, if I'm not wrong. So if you have studied well and good, just focus on the basics. Make sure that you don't forget it. Keep revising it periodically, and that will do. Then predicting the output. So what they ask in this predict the output. The 2 important things to focus on in the predict the output section is conditional statements and for loops. So you would have come across any one programming language for sure till now. Okay, so you would have studied either C or Python, if I'm not wrong. Our 2019 students, that is the brown tax, would have studied Python, and the red tax would have studied C or C++, I guess. So for sure you would have come across conditional statements and loops. So this is the topic of focus for predicting the output. This will so they'll just play with the loops or the conditional statements, and they'll ask you to predict the output. So be careful with that, and I mean be careful in the sense just revise that before you go to the test. C++ basics. So by meaning C++ basics, they'll just ask you, what is a class, what is polymorphism. So all these things you would have surely read if you have come through the course. So it is not a problem if you haven't covered till now. Just go through a YouTube channel. So my source of learning is YouTube. So this is what I would like to say. So in C, I'll tell you what are the topics to learn. First, in C language, start with variables. So various data types. Integer, float, all those things. And in C, you have to study pointers compulsorily, because pointers, that is some quite challenging part in which I could see a lot of questions from companies. So in C, cover pointers. That will help you in all the further topics. So that is important regarding to C. Then in C++, OOPS concept. So that will cover the C++ basics. So this is what you have to study in C++. In Python and Java also the same thing, that's what you have studied for. That is the variables, declaration, if and for, that will do for Python and Java. So moving on, in debugging, so there is this section will also be there as one of the sections in your online test. One will be for loops and conditional statements. As I said before, these are very, very, very important. This will help you even with the interviews that you are attending, that is the face-to-face interviews after the online test. Now what is this basic syntax errors? So it is nothing but they'll assign for example, I'll give you an example. They'll say int a equal to 4.5. So now there is a mistake in this statement, I mean in this line. So that is either the data type should be float, or a equal to should be 4 or 3 or 5. So like this, they'll give some basic syntax errors, and you will have to find what is the error. So this you can easily crack when you are when you have prepared the C or C++ basics. So this is about debugging. Now this is an important part, like coding questions. So now there will be some of you who don't know, like you don't know even the basics of coding. Some of you would have started coding. Some of you would have already known about these LeetCode, Geeks for Geeks, Codeforce, CodeChef, blah blah blah, whatever. So don't worry, either you know or you don't know, that is not at all a problem. But by coding question section, what they want is they just want you to think, and they just want you to assess the way you think is correct in the given time. So everybody in this meeting for sure will solve a coding question. If you are given 1 hour time or 1.5 hours time, you'll solve. But that is not the case here. They'll give a limited time and you will be asked to solve a coding question. So that is the game here. So that is what they need to check, and for that a good amount of practice is necessary. But it doesn't mean that those who are geeks, that is they should know, like they should have previously solved all the questions in any of the coding platforms, like that many will say, but that is not the case. You just you can solve the coding questions if you have the basic understanding of data structures and algorithms. That I'll say where to start or where to study. Now for coding questions, like they may ask anything. They may ask simple conditional statement, or they may ask a simple for loop, or they may ask from any of the data structures. Data structures and algorithms also, I think all of you would have studied in a subject, or if not, you can study it in a YouTube channel named My Code School. That is very, very good for data structures. I'll put it in the chat box also. My Code School, that will have an overview of all data structures that are important. My Code School. So I put it in the chat box. Search this in YouTube and you'll get a good amount of videos in data structures, which will be more than enough for getting a basic idea of what data structures is. So now okay, you have studied data structures and you have to practice some problems, as I said before, for making it easy during the online test. For that, when you're starting new, you start with arrays and then go for strings and then stack and queue. So from my experience, or with my friends' experience that I've heard from, So these three are the important, some of the most important topics in which more questions come. I would not say for sure 100% this will come. Out of 10 questions, 7 or 6 questions come from these three topics. So focus on these three topics first, and then when you get up some basic idea in this, go to the next topic. So this will help you ace the coding questions during the online test. Okay, so now you're attempting an online test and you have a coding question in front of you, and I think Aditya has given a clear idea about what test cases are. There will be some 10 to 15 test cases, or there will be some hidden test cases also. You need not worry about how many test cases are there. So first thing you should do is read the questions. So mostly what the companies do is they do not give it directly. For example, you would have already studied a problem that is given an array. You are going to find a difference between maximum difference between two numbers. So there is a number 5. 5 is the maximum number in the array. 1 is the minimum number in the array. So the maximum difference between any two elements in the array is 4. So if I give you a question, given an array, find the maximum difference between any two elements, you will solve that in 10 or 15 minutes. So, but what the companies do is they give a real life scenario. They give a story for you. So when you read that story, at the end of the story, and if you understand the story and understand what they ask, finally it will be a question like this. I'm not saying that the same question, like some questions like this which you have already practiced. So that will be the case. So take your time in reading questions and arrive at the basic problem that they are asking. So that takes some time. So it needs some practice also. So that will surely come when you start practicing or when you start coding. I'll tell you to start where to start the coding at the end of the session. So that's not a problem. Okay. So then edge cases. So these edge cases, that will help you in nearly all the tests. Assume that you're given two problems. In that, one is an easy problem. So all of us assume 100 people are writing the test, the online test for some XYZ company, and you are given two coding questions. So first question is easy. You know that 80 out of 100 students will do that. You have also completed that. Okay, fine. Now the second question is hard. You know that only 5 or 6 students will be able to complete fully. Now the chances for you to go among the top 10 or top 20 for getting shortlisted for interviews is, instead of solving a full problem, or instead of thinking of a complete solution, so actually you go for complete solution if you have time. Now assume that you have only last 5 minutes, you have to solve the problem, and at that time look for edge cases. So what are edge cases? So now you have to find the factorial. Okay, so they have given you a factorial problem. Given a number, you have to find a factorial. For that factorial, everyone will put a code, like with a function or directly or with using array. You all might have studied the factorial, but at that point of time in the test pressure, some might forget. Now you have 5 minutes left, and it's not possible to code the entire solution. So in that case, what is to be done is you can code the case for 0 factorial is 1. So that will be out of 50. Assume that the question has 15 test cases. There might be 1 or 2 test cases with input as 0. So look for these kind of edge cases, and that will fetch you some marks. But go for edge cases at the end of the test. That is, you don't have any option, then go for edge cases. So this is some useful hack, that helped many students at the last time. So think of some edge cases also. Okay. Now with this, you would have got an overall idea of online test. So there is nothing more than this they're going to ask in online test. If you have any doubts in online test, you can ask me at the end of the session more than this. Now the shortlisting process. So this is something to be dealt mentally. Okay, so the shortlisting, you do not know what happens in the shortlisting process. Okay, so there are some times when you have solved all the questions correctly and your friend hasn't solved completely, but your friend getting shortlisted and you not getting shortlisted. It happens sometimes. That may happen to you also. You might have not done a test well and your friend would have done a test better than you, but you will be getting shortlisted. It happens every time. So it happens to everyone. So make sure that this doesn't affect your affect you mentally, because if you're getting affected, no, you will not be able to perform in the next company perfectly. So make sure that you don't take anything to your mind during the interview process. Otherwise, that will be, for overcoming that, you'll have to give out your 2 or 3 days, which is most valuable at that time. So now, what generally the eligibility criteria for the interview, that is after the online test, it depends on the company. So each company have their own criteria. So first, some companies will have sectional cutoff. By sectional cutoff, what I mean is that, so assume that they are giving you have been asked 10 aptitude questions for 10 marks, and coding questions for 40 marks. Now they will fix that in the first section he should have got more than 7. In the second section he should have got more than 20. Only then you'll be shortlisted for interview. Some companies do like that. Some companies, they just give more importance to aptitude, not coding questions. Some companies give importance to coding questions and not aptitude. But you never know which company gives importance to what. So only thing that lies in your hand is work hard, just give your best in every test, and make yourself better for the next test. So this is what in our hands, and if you do that, I'm sure you'll get a company for sure. Okay, now moving on to the interview process. Aditya has said we have these 3 types of interviews. I'll just give an overview of each type. Okay, so what they expect from you technically. So in the tech interviews, nothing to prepare separately for tech interviews. Only thing is, the whatever you have done in the online test, you're going to speak it out here. Okay, so also there is a buzz that the interviews will be cleared only by the most brilliant guy in the college. There are no most brilliant guys in a college more than some 4 to 5 who are really, really good. Okay, so don't undervalue yourself, don't underestimate yourself. Okay, so that is the most important point you have to remember for acing the interviews. Your confidence, your confidence level will make your answer more and more better. So don't underestimate yourself or undervalue yourself. Please don't compare yourself with others. You are best in your own way. Okay, so that will be assessed by the interviewer. So the people who take interviews, they know they would have done many interviews, and they'll be easily assessing you. So you no need to worry, and nothing to worry about. That guy is good and he's better than me in coding, he's better than me in technical, he's having better CGPA than me. Anything doesn't matter. Your performance in the interview only matters. So be careful, don't underestimate yourself. That will lead to some unwanted mental thing. So don't do that. Now, before moving on to interviews, I would like to clarify with you guys one thing. I would have said this before. I don't know, some of you would have known this. I just wanted to tell you that there is an assumption among the student community that interviewers, the people who interview us are coming here to drill us and reject us, but that is not the case. They are coming to the college because they need some people to work for them, and they come with a motto like to hire us and not to reject us. So keep this in mind. The 90% of the fear that you have while attending the interview is that it is not that you have not prepared well, it is not how you are going to do. So these things are not causing the fear. So the thing that caused the fear is, I will be rejected, the interview might be hard for me, so what if I get rejected? Don't take that to your mind. The interviewers are here not to reject us, and they are here to recruit us. That is the job of them. And most of the interviews, 99% of the interviewers will be friendly, and they'll just talk with you like a friend, and they just want, sometimes they'll give a clue, they'll try to get the answer from you by giving some clues. So don't view interviewer in a negative view. So look at them as a positive guy, look at him as a friend or as a converser. You'll definitely get your 90 or 95% of your fear out of your head, and with that you'll perform your interview very, very well. So this, I have experienced this, and some friends also have said this has worked out, and some of my juniors also have said this has worked out. And better you keep this in mind from now, and I'm sure that this will work out for you also. Okay, now let's move on to technical interviews. So there are three types of technical interviews that I have come across. So from with the interviews that I have attended, and by speaking to my friends and by attending the sessions of my seniors, so these are the three types of tech interviews that have that various companies they go with. The first thing is coding questions based. So this coding questions based round, what they do is they just give you a problem and they ask you to code the solution, which by explaining also. So you have to code and you have to explain. Mostly this coding questions based solution will be for CSIT students, because they are they should know this, because they are expected to know this. So mostly coding questions based interview will be for CS and IT students. So it is nothing new. You are just going to learn what you have done for your online test. So there is nothing new here. Only additional thing that you have to keep in your mind is whatever you code, you have to explain that in your own words also. So that is not at all a big deal. And then moving on to technical knowledge based interview. So okay, so this will be there for both the CSIT students and non-CSIT students. So assume that you are attending a IT product company or IT service company, and you're getting shortlisted for technical interviews, and this type of interview is most probably would come for you. So what they ask is nothing new here also, just the same thing for that what you prepared for tech MCQs and debugging. Like I would have said about debugging and tech MCQs in the online test section. The same thing applies here. You have to explain as simple as you can. Okay, so now the topics to focus on the technical knowledge based interview. OOPS, as I said before, is very, very important. You would have, I think most of you would have learned this. If not, learn now at least. OOPS. For OOPS, I'll give you a website. Okay, so I'll type it in the chat box. That will be very useful for you to for quick revision. Also for studying the first time, it will be very useful. There is a website called studytonight.com. You go there and work on search for there are some articles. Okay, articles in the sense they're not complex, they're not very technical. With examples, they would have explained each and every concept in object oriented programming with ease. So if you go through that, you'll get an overall idea, and that's more than enough for the technical interviews as well as the MCQs. Okay, I put it in the chat box, you can refer to that. Then for data structures, as I said, that My Code School YouTube channel is more than enough. After that, you have to do some practice in some coding platforms. I'll say what are the coding platforms at the end. Okay, so then DBMS. So DBMS is also something important. It is one of the core subjects of computer science engineering. There might be a question that why should we focus on DBMS because it is not in a core? Because the reason is, the DBMS is nothing but the study of database. Database is used in each and every company. Whatever company you tell, even in CS core or CS or IT core or non-CS IT core, wherever you go, the database has become an important thing that is being used in every company. So they will surely test your knowledge on DBMS. If you have DBMS, it is definitely a plus for you in your interview. So learn DBMS also. For DBMS, you can just go through any YouTube videos, all YouTube videos, because it is a simple concept. So whatever YouTube videos you will see, you'll be able to understand, and most of the things will also be good. Okay, so this is what I wanted to tell about technical knowledge interview. This will do for you. Also, other than this, if you are from non-CSIT background, there is a chance for asking the subjects that you have studied in your first year and second year. So, for example, a mechanical engineering student would have studied in the first and second. In your first and second year, you would have studied some, I don't know, subjects, mechanics or something like that. You would have studied your core subjects, right? So they might ask from that also. So they might ask in the sense they'll not ask you some complex problems or complex theories and all. They'll just ask you if you're knowing that what you've studied. Okay, so this technical interview is important because the interviewers know, each company have their own domain. So they work on different things. Okay, that you will not know for sure, because we are now only we are studying our engineering and they are working on some profession. So they want to assess us. like whether we will be a perfect fit for their institution or their company or not. The only way to assess is the common things between them and us. The common thing between them and us is these topics, that is the object oriented programming, data structures, and database. These are the three common things that are, some that you will also know, they'll also know. They will know some advanced things more than us, but you need not know all of them. If you know what you have studied well, if you know well what you have studied already, so that will give an impression that you are a good candidate for them. So that is what they also want. So that is what they expect from the students during the interview. Now, resume based means the interviewer may not have come prepared, so he just wants to go with your resume. So another reason for going with resume based interview is that you have to know what you say, that. So that will be the benchmark for them to assess you, because as I said, for the reason that I said before. Okay, so he just asks you what you put in your resume. So you have to be thorough with your thorough in the sense, whatever they ask, whatever they can ask from your resume, you'll have to answer, because that is your resume. Most important, what they'll focus on is skills and projects. So in skills, you can put your core skills, or something what you have learned other than your core. That is, some might have learned web development, some might have learned database. So all those things you can put in your skills. And projects, I would suggest you, to put at least 2 projects in your resume. Okay, so be it core or non-core. Also, if you have many projects, you can change the projects in your resume based on the company. Okay, so for example, say your core company comes. So for a civil or mechanical guy, a mechanical or civil core company comes, you can put your projects that you have done on your core subject. So you are applying for some IT service companies. You can put some web development projects if you have done, or some might have done machine learning projects. So all those projects you can put in your resume when you are applying for the IT company. So like that, you can also change to specific to companies, because that gives you, for that company, a good impression that you are fit for their company. Also, hobbies and extracurricular activities plays a major role. In all of my interviews, I had questions from my hobbies and extracurricular activities. So that also helped me, to tell that I'm a good worker and I can work well, I can gel with the team very well. All those things, for those things, for those soft skills, they would say. You would have heard a term called soft skills. For those things, they'll just ask you about your experiences, ask about your hobbies and extracurricular activities. Okay, so this is about the resume-based interviews. Okay, now moving on to HR interviews. So the HR interviews, HR interviews for some companies, the tech and HR interviews will be integrated. That is, after the online test, you will have only one interview. In that, they'll ask both tech and HR questions, and you're done. For some companies, they'll have 2 or 3 rounds of technical interviews alone, and then plus one HR interview. That also depends on the company. So the thing is, you have to be prepared for everything. Now, in HR interviews, many people will say that HR அவன் வந்து உங்களை கொண்டுருவான், போய் கேள்வி கிட்டே கொண்டுருவான், லைக் நிறைய பேர் அப்படிலாம் சொல்லுவாங்க. But you need not worry about that. So the aim of an HR, is to know what kind of person you are. So for sure, in your college itself, you would have experienced some situation where you have to do a lot of work in a limited amount of time, and you would have done that. Sometimes you would have missed deadlines, but that's okay in college. But when you go for a company and they give you a deadline, you have to be strict on that, and they'll just look into whether you're capable of doing what they expect. So for those things, they'll have to check you, right? Only for that thing, the HR asks some hypothetical kind of questions which you have to think and answer. Other than that, the HR is not an enemy for you. He has also come to recruit you. There is a vacancy in the company. They are here to recruit you for sure. But the thing is, they wanted to just test you. You'll have to pass that. Anywhere you go, wherever you go, you'll have to prove that you are successful, and you are a valid and you are a valuable asset for them. Only then they'll be picking you. That is the nature. Assume you are running a company. Will you just come to a reputed college and just get them because they have good marks and they are in a reputed college. No, that doesn't happen, right? So that's the reason why the HR interview, they ask some questions that test your patience and those kind of stuff. Also, there is some will say that be prepared for HR questions, some standard HR questions. Yeah, you should be prepared for some standard questions, but don't be just mug up the questions. I mean, mug up the answers for each and every HR question. Just get an idea. So if they ask, tell me about yourself. I've seen some people, they'll write in a notebook. I am Guru Naveen. I am currently pursuing my 6th semester in computer science and engineering college. Like that, they'll write some half page and they'll memorize that. So don't do like that. Just keep hints. So CSC sixth semester, from Salem, so like that, from where you're from, and then what are the skills, what are your hobbies, like that. You just put a hint and then put it in your own words. That will add, that will be different, and that will be a kind of different answer, that will also be different to HR, and he will think that you are good in communication skills. So there will be a difference, right? நீ மனப்பாடம் பண்ணி பேசுறதுக்கும் நீங்களா பேசுறதுக்கும் ஒரு வித்தியாசம் இருக்கும். அது ஹெச்ஆருக்கு தெரியும். ஸோ நீங்கள் அந்த மாதிரி மனப்பாடம் பண்ணிட்டு போகாதீங்க. இப்போ நீங்கள் அவன் என்னென்ன கொஸ்டின் கேட்பாங்க அப்படிங்கிறத நோட் பண்ணிக்கிட்டு நீங்கள் மனப்பாடம் பண்ணிட்டு போகிறதுல அது ஒரு ஹெச்ஆர் இன்டர்வியூ மாதிரியே இருக்காது. ஓகே, they'll easily find out that you have mugged up. ஸோ அப்படி போக வேணாம். just go with the flow. That flow, like just go with the flow. That will do for HR interviews. Nothing big to prepare, like write down, mug up. So all those things are not needed for HR interviews. Also, one thing, right, in HR interviews, it is good to be prepared with the examples. So what are the questions they're going to ask. Just get ready with an incident, be it true or false, that doesn't matter. But for example, I conducted this workshop. If you have put that in your resume, there is a chance for asking what difficulty you faced in the workshop. You cannot say I didn't face any difficulty. So for those kind of questions, just be prepared, or be prepared with the scenario, and you can put that in your own words. That will do. Don't be feared or scared during HR interview. Just be confident, and they never stop while you're answering. So just what your answer is correct in HR interview. That is the thing that you will have to keep in your mind before moving on to HR interviews. Okay. So now managerial interview. This is something, some people might have not got this, because many companies don't have managerial interviews. Some have, but managerial interviews, there's nothing new. As I said, with tech and HR together, they'll ask some questions. Also, the person who is interviewing you will be a manager in the company. So that is what they have named this as managerial interview. Nothing good, nothing big or nothing different here. Okay. Now with this, the interview process is basically over. Now there will be some situations like you will do your test. You'll score 90 out of 100 marks in the test, but you will not get shortlisted. There will be a friend who just attended one coding question out of 2, and he would get shortlisted. All these things happens, and you don't know why this happens. For that, you should not stop the process, or you should never go down, because you know that you have performed well, right? So இது இல்லைன்னா அடுத்த கம்பெனி பார்த்துக்கலாம் அப்படிங்கிற நினைப்பில் தான் நீங்கள் இருக்கணும். ஓகே, ஸோ டோன்ட் waste your time by thinking of the company that has rejected you, because with that time you could have prepared well for the next interview. Okay, so be calm throughout the process, and one important thing is that you will get a lot of companies in our college. Okay, so don't think that இந்த கம்பெனி போயிட்டா அவ்வளோதாங்க, அடுத்த கம்பெனி வரமாட்டானா, அப்படிலாம் நீங்கள் யோசிக்காதீங்க. So you'll have many companies coming up, so don't worry. With this, I'll conclude, and I've noted down some questions, from the form that you have given. I just answer those, and after that you can ask any questions other than that. Okay. Most of you have asked which programming language to go with. So basically, all of us will go with either 4 programming languages: C, C++, Python, Java. So in these 4 things, right, C is compulsory. All of you should know C. So C is not a big deal. It is an easy language. Okay, after knowing C, right, you can learn any programming language within a day. Okay, so because all the concepts will be the same, the syntax will only change. So So for that only we stress, to learn C first. After that you can learn C++, Python, Java, இதுவா இருந்தாலும் நீங்க கத்துக்கலாம், அதெல்லாம் பிரச்சனை கிடையாது. Okay. Also while coding, right, in coding questions I would suggest, learn C, but don't use C for coding questions. Okay, you will have to know C because for the tech MCQs, debugging and all, C will be important. But with the help of C itself, you will not be able to code the questions on time, because in C, right, you don't have something called libraries. லைப்ரரிஸ்னா என்னன்னா, லைக் அதெல்லாம் நீங்கள் கோடிங் கொஸ்டின்ஸ் ஆரம்பிச்சக்கப்புறம் டவுட்லாம் கேளுங்க, அதை பற்றிலாம் வந்து நம்ம அந்த குரூப்பில் பேசிக்கலாம். ஓகே, ஸோ ஐ வுட் சஜஸ்ட் லெட் லேர்ன் C first, then for coding choose either C++ or Python or Java. Anything is fine, any one of this is fine. So learn C first and then either C++ or Python or Java. இது மூணுல ஒன்று சூஸ் பண்ணிக்கிட்டு you start practicing coding questions. Okay, so programming language, இப்போ வந்து companies will not expect that you should know all these languages like that. There will be some companies, one or two companies, they would say you should know Java, like that they would say, or some companies would say you have to know C++, but that is not the same in all cases. Out of 100 companies, some 3 or 4 companies will ask for a specific programming language. Otherwise you can go with either C++ or Python or Java for coding questions. Okay, then resume. So resume, I have also covered whatever I have to say, and Aditya has also covered whatever has to be done. And be truthful in your resume, never lie in your resume, because that is the place where the interviewer might ask some questions, and if you fail in that will not be that is the most awkward situation that you can face in an interview. So don't do that. Be truthful in your resume. Okay, then dress code, some of you have asked. So for dress code, wash your face before interview, be fresh, and better wear a shirt, a formal shirt, that will do. Okay, then some of you have asked about internships. Okay, so now I don't know, most of you would have known this or not. For every year, in parallel to the placement process, there will be an internship process, internship recruitment also going on in our college for the third year students. Now this year, Grey Tax will be attending placements and Red Tax would have been attending internships. So that all internships will not come for all departments or all colleges, I guess. Some companies only will come. Not all companies that come for placement will provide internship. For the internship also, the same process that you do now, that I have said, the placement process, the same is applicable to the internship process also. Same things to learn and nothing new. So some of you have asked whether internship, if I ask to do an internship, if I don't do an internship, it is better to do an internship. But it is not like internship பண்ணலனா நீ வந்து பிளேஸ்மெண்ட்ல உனக்கு செலக்ட் ஆக மாட்டே அப்படிலாம் கிடையாது. If you have a chance or if you have an interest, go for internship, that will be really helpful. But internship இதுவரை பண்ணல, நான் வந்து இப்போ அடுத்தது நான் பிளேஸ்மெண்ட் போக போறேன் அப்படின்னா என்னை செலக்ட் பண்ண மாட்டாங்களா அப்படிலாம் கிடையாது. So it doesn't matter, I would say, but doing an internship is certainly a plus. But அது பண்ணலைன்னா செலக்ட் ஆக மாட்டேனா அப்படிலாம் ஒன்றும் கிடையாது. So time management. So some of you have asked about time management. இப்போ வந்து உங்களோட எய்ம் என்ன அப்படிங்கிறத முதல்ல முடிவு பண்ணிக்கோங்க. கம்பெனியில் பிளேஸ் ஆக போறீங்க அப்படின்னு முடிவு பண்ணிட்டீங்கன்னா அதுக்கு என்னென்ன பண்ணணும்னு சொல்லியாச்சு. நீங்களும் உங்கள் சீனியர்ஸ்ட்டை கேளுங்க, மற்றவங்ககிட்ட கேளுங்க. உங்களுக்கு வந்து ஒரு ஐடியா கிடைச்சிடும் என்ன பண்ணணும்னு. அந்த ஐடியா கிடைக்கிற வரைக்கும் தான் உங்களுக்கு வந்து இன்னொருத்தங்களோட யூஸே இருக்கும். இப்போ ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள், you attended a session now. Okay, you would have got whatever you need to know. But for some people, this is more than enough. For some, ஒரு சில இடம்லாம் குழப்பமாக இருக்கும். இந்த மாதிரி செஷன் நடந்துகிட்டே தான் இருக்கும் நம்ம காலேஜில். லியோ கிளப்பே இன்னொன்று வைப்பாங்க, இல்லை வேற கிளப்ஸ் நடத்துவாங்க, உங்கள் டிபார்ட்மெண்ட்டை நடத்தலாம். இப்போ அந்த மாதிரி நீ இன்னொரு செஷன் அட்டன் பண்ணேன்னா உனக்கு ஒரு 2 செஷன் 3 செஷனில் யூ வில் நோ த ப்ராசஸ். ஆஃப்டர் தட் வாட் இட் மேட்டர்ஸ் இஸ் யுவர் மைண்ட் செட். படிக்கிறதுக்கு நீ தான் முடிவு பண்ணணும். நீ எத்தனை செஷன் அட்டன் பண்ணாலும் சரி, என்ன பண்ணாலும் சரி, நீ உட்காந்து படித்தாதான் வந்து உன்னால் கற்றுக்க முடியும், உன்னால் இன்டர்வியூ கிளியர் பண்ண முடியும். For that, your mindset is the most important thing for time management. So இப்போ ஃபோன் எடுத்து பார்க்குறேன், ஃபோன் எடுக்க வேண்டியதான், ஃபோன் பார்க்க வேண்டியதான். ஆனால் that will kill your time. You will realize at a point of time that you are wasting your time in phone. அதெல்லாம் அந்த மாதிரி சின்ன சின்ன விஷயங்கள் அவாய்ட் பண்ணாலே you will get a lot of time. Okay. Also, I'll share my thing for time management. I get up early. That is the important thing. I sleep early at night and I get up early at night. Okay. So that makes me feel that I have a long day. அதனால எனக்கு நிறைய டைம் இருக்கிற மாதிரி எனக்கு ஃபீல் ஆகும். ஒரு காலையில் 6 o'clock எல்லாம் எந்திரிச்சேன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்களேன், you'll have a bit long day. 6 to 10 காலையில் 6 மணிக்கு வச்சு 10 மணிக்கு தூங்குறேன் அப்படின்னா எனக்கு அந்த டைமே போதுமானதாக இருந்தது. ஸோ யூ ட்ரை கெட்டிங் அப் early, or if you are a night person, நைட்டு படிங்க, டிஸ்ட்ராக்ஷன் இல்லாமல் படிங்க. தட் வில் இன்க்ரீஸ் யுவர் டைம். ஓகே. அப்புறம் சில பேர் வந்து செல்ஃப் ஸ்டடி பண்ணலாமா, இந்த மாதிரி கோர்சஸ்லாம் போகாம அந்த மாதிரி கேட்டிருந்தீங்க. அதுவும் இட் டிபெண்ட்ஸ் ஆன் தி பர்சன். ஓகே. நான் வந்து எந்த சர்டிஃபிகேஷனும் பண்ணது கிடையாது. அது வந்து சர்டிஃபிகேஷன் பண்ணேன் எப்போனா இந்த கோவிட் அப்போ வந்து நம்ம காலேஜ்லேயே கொடுத்தாங்கன்னு நினைக்கிறேன், கோர்ஸரால சர்டிஃபிகேஷன் ஃப்ரீ அந்த மாதிரி. அப்போ சும்மா ஒரு 2 கோர்ஸ் என்னமோ பார்த்தேன். பட் ஃபார் மை பிளேஸ்மெண்ட்ஸ் I haven't prepared anything from certifications. There are my friends who are prepared from from courses. It depends on the person. இப்போ உங்களுக்கு நீங்க வந்து ஒரு கோர்ஸ் எடுத்தா படிச்சிருவீங்க அப்படின்னா கோர்ஸ் எடுங்க தாராளமா. உங்களால கோர்ஸ் இல்லாமலே படிக்க முடியும் அப்படின்னு நினைக்கிறீங்கன்னா மெட்டீரியல்ஸ்லாம் தாராளமா எக்கச்சக்கமா இருக்கு. யூ ஹேவ் டு சர்ச் அண்ட் ரீட். அவ்வளவுதான் வித்தியாசம். Okay, I have not done any courses for placement, and now I've cleared the placement interview also. So that doesn't matter. It depends on the person only. Okay. அப்புறம் இன்னொருத்தங்க கேட்டிருந்தாங்க whether my personality matters or my knowledge matters அப்படின்னு. இப்போ பர்சனாலிட்டி நாலேஜ் ரெண்டுமே முக்கியம் தான் நான் சொல்லுவேன். ஏன்னா நீ நாலேஜே இல்லாமல் நீ பர்சனாலிட்டி வச்சுட்டேன்னா நீ கம்பெனியில் போய் ஒன்றுமே பண்ண முடியாது. உன்கிட்ட நாலேஜ் மட்டும் இருக்கு, பட் யூ டோன்ட் சூட் டு அ டீம் அப்படின்னு இருந்தேன்னா நீ அந்த கம்பெனியில் போய் நீ என்ன வேலை செஞ்சாலும் அவங்க வந்து அவங்களுக்கு நீ செட் ஆகலைன்னா உன்னை வந்து கடைசியில் வேணாம் தான் சொல்ல போகிறாங்க. ஸோ மேக் ஷியோர் தட் யூஆர் a good team player. You just work well with the team and you have also knowledge. That is, both are important. It's like 2 eyes. Personality and knowledge is like 2 eyes. ரெண்டுமே இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் தான். அப்புறம் சில பேர் வந்து நான் வந்து படிக்கிறது எல்லாமே தரவா இருக்கணுமா, ஃபிங்கர் டிப்ல இருந்தாதான் இன்டர்வியூ கிளியர் பண்ண முடியுமான்னு கேட்டிருந்தீங்க. யாராலையுமே இப்படி எல்லாமே படிச்சது எல்லாமே எல்லாம் ஃபிங்கர் டிப்ல வச்சுட்டு இருக்க முடியாது. அதான் உண்மை. சில பேர் சொல்லுவாங்க நான் வந்து அது படித்தேன் இது படித்தேன், எல்லாமே படித்தான் சரி, ஆனால் வந்து எல்லாமே அவனுக்கு ஞாபகம் இருக்குமானா கேள்விக்குறி தான். ஸோ உங்களால் முடிஞ்ச வரைக்கும் படிங்க, ரிவைஸ் பண்ணுங்க. ரிவைஸ் பண்ணிங்கனாலே உங்களுக்கு எல்லாமே ஃபிங்கர் டிப்ல இருக்க மாதிரி ஒரு இது வந்துடும். ஸோ அப்புறம் அகாடமிக் கொஸ்டின்ஸ், அதாவது நம்ம சிலபஸ் எந்த அளவுக்கு இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் அப்படின்னா இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் தான். ஏன்னா நான் முன்னாடி சொன்ன மாதிரி அவங்க உங்களை அசஸ் பண்றதுக்கான ஒரே வழி நீங்க படிச்சது தான். ஏன்னா அவனுக்கு தெரியறது உனக்கு தெரியாது. ஏன்னா நீ காலேஜ் தான் படிச்சுட்டு இருக்க. அதனால நீங்க என்ன படிச்சீங்களோ அதை வச்சுதான் அவங்க கொஸ்டின்ஸ் கேட்பாங்க. ஸோ ஃபார் தட் யூ ஹேவ் டு பி ஸ்ட்ராங். ஸ்ட்ராங்னா எனக்கு A to Z எல்லாமே தெரியும் அப்படி இருந்தா பெட்டர் தான். பட் கான்செப்டால் தெரிஞ்சிருக்கும், ஒவ்வொன்றுக்கும் என்னென்ன அர்த்தம் அதாச்சும் சொல்ற அளவுக்கு. ஓகேவா, இதுதான் வந்து ஃபார்ம்ஸ்ல இருந்த டவுட். ஐ திங்க் ஐ கிளியர்ட் மோஸ்ட் ஆஃப் த டவுட்ஸ். ஓகே, ஸோ எனி டவுட்ஸ் யூ கேன் புட் இன் chat box. Okay, if the offer 20 LPA but if I'm good in CP, can I ask them to give 40 LPA? நீங்க ஆஃப் கேம்பஸ்ல இருந்தீங்கன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்களேன், நீங்க தாராளமா இந்த மாதிரி இது பண்ணலாம். இப்போ கூட பண்ணலாம், பட் ஆனால் மோஸ்ட்லி தே வுட் ஸ்டிக் டு த திங் தட் தே ஹவ் கிவன் டியூரிங் த what they have sent through the COIC அப்படின்னு தான் நான் நினைக்கிறேன். பட் ஐம் நாட் ஷுர் இஃப் திஸ் கேன் ஹேப்பன் பிகாஸ் ஐ ஹவ் நாட் சீன் எனி பர்சன் அண்ட் ஐ ஹவ் ஆல்சோ நாட் டன் லைக் திஸ். ஸோ ஐம் நாட் ஷுர் ஆஃப் திஸ். கேட் ஸ்கோருக்கும் பிளேஸ்மெண்ட்டுக்கும் கிட்டத்தட்ட சம்மந்தம் இல்லை. பட் ஆனால் நீங்கள் கேட் ஸ்கோர் என்கிட்ட இவ்வளோ இருக்குன்னு நீங்கள் ரெஸ்யூமில் தாராளமாக போடலாம். ஓகேவா? ஸோ நீங்கள் அந்த மாதிரி பிளேஸ்மெண்ட் கேட்டை பற்றி நீங்கள் போட்டிங்க அப்படின்னா இட் வில் கிவ் ரைஸ் டு அனதர் கொஸ்டின். தே லாஸ்ட் தட் நீங்கள் கேட் எழுதிருக்கீங்களே, நீங்கள் வேலைக்கு வருவீங்களா, அடுத்தது படிக்க போகிறீங்களா அப்படின்னு கேட்பாங்க. ஸோ அதுக்கு ரெடி ஆகிக்கோங்க. அந்த மாதிரி கொஸ்டின்ஸும் வரலாம் நீங்கள் கேட் ஸ்கோர் போட்டிங்கன்னா. கேட் ஸ்கோர் போடக்கூடாதுன்னு நான் சொல்லலை, போடலனாலும் தப்பு இல்லை, போட்டாலும் தப்பு இல்லை. இட் டசன்ட் மேக் அ பிக் டிஃபரன்ஸ். அதான் உண்மை. சஜஸ்ட் சம் வெப்சைட்ஸ் ஃபார் ஸ்டடிங் அல்காரிதம் சொல்லுங்க. அல்காரிதம்க்கு வந்து நீங்கள் எந்த வெப்சைட்டில் பார்த்தாலும் ஆர்டிக்கல் மாதிரி தான் இருக்கும். இஃப் யூ ஆர் வெல் அண்ட் இஃப் யூ கேன் ஸ்டடி வித் ஆர்டிகல்ஸ் இட் செல்ஃப் யூ கேன் கோ ஃபார் கீக்ஸ். ஓகே, அது இல்லாமல் எனக்கு வீடியோவாக வேணும் அப்படின்னு நினச்சிங்கன்னா யூடியூப்ல அப்துல் பாரி அப்படின்னு ஒருத்தர் வந்து வீடியோ எடுத்திருப்பாரு. லைக் நிறைய வீடியோஸ் போட்டிருப்பாரு. தட் வில் கிவ் யூ அன் ஓவரால் ஐடியா. நான் சாட் பாக்ஸில் போட்டிருக்கேன். அப்துல் பாரி அவங்களோட சேனல் நீங்கள் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா கிட்டத்தட்ட எல்லா அல்காரிதம்ஸும் கவர் பண்ணிருப்பாரு வித் அன் எக்ஸாம்பிள் ஆல்சோ. ஸோ தட் வில் பி குட். Is there anything like a person who have better gauge score rather than interview test have high? அப்படிலாம் கிடையாது. உன்னோட கேட் ஸ்கோர் வச்சுலாம் அவங்க டிசைட் பண்ண மாட்டாங்க. அவங்க பண்ற இன்டர்வியூ ப்ராசஸ்ல உன்னை எப்படி போடுறாங்க அப்படிங்கறதான். ஒருவேளை நீ கேட் ஸ்கோர் வச்சிருக்கனால அது உனக்கு ஒரு ஆடட் அட்வான்டேஜா இருக்கலாம். பட் ஆனா நீ இன்டர்வியூ ஒழுங்கா பண்ணாம கேட் ஸ்கோர் வச்சிருக்கனால உன்னை வேலைக்கு எடுப்பாங்களா அப்படின்னா கேட்டானா எடுக்க மாட்டாங்க. பட் ஜென்ரல் திங் இஸ் தட் கோ வித் ஒன் பேஜ் ரெஸ்யூம் பிகாஸ் த இன்டர்வியூர் மைட் நாட் ஹாவ் மோர் டைம். அதெல்லாம் ஆஃப் கேம்பஸ்ல வந்து ஒர்க் ஆகும். ஏன்னா வந்து உன்னோட ரெஸ்யூமை வந்து அவங்க ஒரு நிமிஷத்துல பார்த்தாங்கன்னா ஒரு 20 செகண்ட்ஸ் தான் எடுத்துக்குவாங்க. அந்த 20 செகண்ட்ஸ்க்குள்ள அவங்க ஸ்க்ரோல் பண்றதுக்குலாம் டைம் வேஸ்ட் ஆகுறதுக்காக ஒன் பேஜ்ல போட சொல்லுவாங்க. ஆக்சுவலி தட் இஸ் கரெக்ட். பட் நான் ஆன் கேம்பஸ்னால எப்படியும் என்ன ஒருத்தனை இன்டர்வியூ பண்ணும்போது தான் என் ரெஸ்யூம் பார்ப்பாங்க. அந்த ஒரு ரீசனால தான் ஐ வென்ட் வித் 2 pages. I didn't like other designs. So if you're liking other designs, you can go with one page resume also. That doesn't matter. How to know about a company specific requirement? அது வந்து அவங்களே ஜாப் டிஸ்கிரிப்ஷன் அனுப்புவாங்க. ஓகே, ஸோ ஜாப் டிஸ்கிரிப்ஷனில் பார்த்துக்கலாம். அப்புறம் வந்து அந்த கம்பெனி வெப்சைட் ஒரு வாட்டி பார்த்துக்கோங்க. அவங்க என்னென்னலாம் பண்ணுறாங்க அதெல்லாம் பார்த்துட்டிங்கன்னா உங்களுக்கு கொஞ்சம் யூஸ்ஃபுல்லாக இருக்கும். கம்பெனிஸ் ரெக்குவயர்மெண்ட் அப்படின்னா ஸ்பெசிஃபிக்கலி கம்பெனி ஸ்பெசிஃபிக் ரெக்குவயர்மெண்ட்ஸ் என்னன்னு இருந்துச்சுன்னா அவங்க வந்து ஜாப் டிஸ்கிரிப்ஷன்லாம் அனுப்பிடுவாங்க. அப்படி அவங்க அனுப்பலை அப்படின்னா இவ்வளோ நேரம் நம்ம என்னென்னலாம் பேசணுமோ அதெல்லாம் தெரிஞ்சு வச்சுக்கிட்டாலே போதும். அவங்க கம்பெனி வெப்சைட்டை ஒரு வாட்டி பார்த்துக்கோங்க போதும். when do placements usually come? 3rd year or 4th year? 4th yearல தான். 4th yearல ஜென்ரலி ஜூலைல ஸ்டார்ட் ஆகும். உங்களுக்கு வந்து எப்பயுமே ஈவென்ட் செமஸ்டர் வந்து ஏப்ரல்ல முடியுமா, மே ஜூன் லீவா இருக்கும் 2 மாதம். அது முடிச்சுட்டு உங்களுக்கு வந்து ஜூலைல காலேஜ் ஓப்பன் பண்ணுவாங்க. ஓப்பன் பண்ணி ஒரு 2 or 3 வீக்ஸ்ல வந்து பிளேஸ்மெண்ட்ஸ் ஆரம்பிக்கும். தட் இஸ் த ஜென்ரல் ஷெட்யூல். ஐ மீன் எவ்ரி இயர் இட் ஹேப்பன்ஸ் லைக் தட். பட் இப்போ கொஞ்சம் லேட் ஆச்சு இந்த கோவிட்னால. ஆன்லைனில் இன்டர்வியூஸ் நடக்கிறனால, அப்புறம் எக்ஸாம்ஸ்லாம் லேட் ஆனதுனால இந்த வருஷம் வந்து ஆகஸ்ட் 26 ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணாங்க. நெக்ஸ்ட் இயர் வந்து எல்லாமே கரெக்டாக நடந்துச்சு அப்படின்னா உங்களுக்கு ஜூலை 2nd week or 3rd weekலேயே ஆரம்பிச்சிடலாம். இட்ஸ் இட் கம்பல்சரி டு நோ சி லாங்குவேஜ்? ஆக்சுவலி ஐ எம் நாட் சேயிங் இட் அஸ் கம்பல்சரி. ஏன்னா அது நான் ஏன் கம்பல்சரி அப்படின்னு சொல்கிறேன் அப்படின்னா, நீங்கள் வந்து இப்போ ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் சுஹைல் அக்தர் எந்த சப்ஜெக்ட் நீங்கள் வந்து செராமிக் டெக்னாலஜி. ஓகே, ஸோ உங்களுக்கு வந்து செராமிக் டெக்னாலஜி கோர் கம்பெனியில் சி தேவைப்படுமா அப்படின்னு கேட்டால் சி தேவைப்படுமான்னு எனக்கு தெரியல. அது உங்கள் சீனியர்ஸ்ட்டை தான் கேட்கணும். நான் ஏன் சொல்கிறேன் அப்படின்னா, when you are attending some other than your core companies, the test pattern is something like that. ஸோ உங்களுக்கு ஆப்டிடியூட் இருக்கும். ஆப்டிடியூடுக்கு சி தேவையில்லைன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க. டெக் எம்சிக்யூக்கோ கோடிங் கொஷின்ஸ்க்கோ நீங்கள் சால்வ் பண்ணுறீங்க அப்படின்னா நீங்கள் அதை எங்கேருந்து ஆரம்பிக்கலாம்னு கேட்டிங்கன்னா சீலேருந்து ஆரம்பித்தா உங்களுக்கு ப்ராசஸ் ஈஸியாக இருக்கும். உங்களுக்கு எல்லாமே புரிகிற மாதிரி இருக்கும். அதனால தான் ஐ டோல்ட் யூ டு கோ வித் சி. இஃப் யூ ஹவ் ஸ்டார்டட் வித் பைத்தான் இட் இஸ் குட். பைத்தான் தெரிஞ்சுக்கோங்க, சியும் தெரிஞ்சுக்கோங்க. ஏன்னா சிலேருந்து கொஸ்டின்ஸ் நிறைய மாட்டுது. அதனால சொல்கிறேன் சி தெரிஞ்சுக்கோங்க. But it is not, I am not saying it compulsory. I am saying it because there are more number of questions from C in every company that I heard of. Okay, அதனால தான் சொன்னேன். What is the average CTC? அது தெரியலடா. அது வந்து சிஓசியில் தான் கேட்கணும். உங்கள் பிஆர்ஸ் யாராச்சும் இருந்தாங்கன்னா உங்கள் டிபார்ட்மெண்ட் பிஆர் அவங்ககிட்டலாம் கேளுங்க. அவங்களுக்கு ஏதாச்சும் தெரிஞ்சிருக்க வாய்ப்பு இருக்குது. எனக்கு தெரியல. Is there any relationship between a final year project and companies? அப்போல்லாம் கிடையாதுடா. அப்போல்லாம் அப்படி ஒன்றும் இருக்க மாதிரி தெரியல. பட் if you are interested you can do your final year project something related to the company. அது வந்து உனக்கு தெரியாது, நீ எப்போ பிளேஸ் ஆவனே தெரியாது. sometimes you might have get placed in the 7th semester itself. sometimes you could drag until 8th semester. அது சொல்ல முடியாதுல்ல. ஸோ அது ரெண்டும் போட்டு குழப்பிக்காதீங்க. ஃபைனல் இயர் ப்ராஜெக்ட் உங்கள் டிபார்ட்மெண்ட்டில் கேளுங்க என்ன சொல்கிறாங்களோ, நீங்கள் எதில் இன்ட்ரெஸ்டடாக இருக்கீங்களோ பண்ணுங்கள். நீங்கள் ஃபைனல் இயர் ப்ராஜெக்ட்டுக்கும் கம்பெனிக்கும் சம்மந்தம் இருக்கான்னு கேட்டால் இல்லை. சில காலேஜஸ் எல்லாம் என்ன பண்ணுவாங்கன்னா ஃபைனல் இயர் ப்ராஜெக்டை கம்பெனிக்கே போய் பண்ணுற மாதிரிலாம் விடுவாங்க. நம்ம காலேஜில் அது விடுறது இல்லை சிஒய்சிலேருந்து. அதனால் நீங்கள் அது ரெண்டுக்கும் சம்மந்தப்படுத்திக்க வேணாம். தேவையில்லாமல் குழப்பம் தான் வரும். ஸோ வேண்டாம்.